Now, from what we've already covered, there's going to be a lot of things that you need to go off and research and investigate and ultimately decide upon as to how you want to position your business, and also what it is that you're going to need to learn in order to be able to actually do the work. One of the other really important things amongst all of this, though, is having to think about, ultimately, once you've brought those two things together, how do you want to start positioning your business in the wider world? There is a huge amount of work out there, literally across the world, from all sorts of businesses, big and small, that want or need digital marketing. So it's a great market to be in. But ultimately, there are also an awful lot of digital marketers out there. So essentially, you need to have a think about how it is that you want to position yourself. Now, that essentially comes down to defining your USP, ultimately your unique selling point. What makes you different to the rest? For a lot of people, that can mean focusing just on selling one particular aspect of digital marketing. So it might be super technical SEO, or it might be auditing Google Ads accounts, or building certain types of websites. Alternatively, it can be you offer a range of services, but you focus just on one specific industry. So one of the industries which I've tried to get into is fitness, for example. But I know lots of other people who work exclusively in the finance industry or the hospitality industry, because ultimately, although they could be doing the same thing for an awful lot of people, it first of all helps you build up a bank of experience about what is going on in that industry. And ultimately, it means that when you sit down with a potential client, and it's the right client for whatever it is you do stand an advantage, if I'm honest, that you can potentially win that work versus the other generic digital marketer. All I'd say is that however you want to position yourself, you need some degree of uniqueness. Don't just ever sit there and say, I am a digital marketer, and that's it. There is no advantage in being generic in this game. You don't need to be highly specialized, but you do need to have a certain angle at which you are going down. Now, the reason for doing all this now is ultimately the fact that however you decide that you want your business to run is going to affect what marketing you do and how you position yourself in the market. And ultimately, that all ties back to the ultimate goals that you want to get out of digital marketing. So it does require a lot of research, I'm not going to lie. To give you an example where these two things might conflict is that a lot of businesses I've seen say, oh, we don't cater to a specific market, we cater to a specific geographic area, which is quite common. So for example, that you only want to get clients in Manchester in the UK. Ultimately, if you're tying your business to one given specific location, you're kind of going to be expected that you're first of all going to be near that area, and also that you are going to be expected to visit those clients face to face. Now, ultimately, if your overall goal with digital marketing is to be able to independently travel and live remotely, having a business which is orientated towards a specific geographic area doesn't make a great deal of sense, especially if you were expected you have to go and visit them. So those two things conflict. So this is why we're sorting this out in the here and now and trying to define that actually this type of business might work to achieve these goals. That's not to say that with whatever you choose at this stage needs to be set in stone. It's something that you can change and alter, and ultimately you might realize that you don't like it and so on. So it is adaptable. But as much as setting a goal and milestones and your ultimate sort of drives for why it is you want to get into freelance digital marketing, it is also really important that you just have at least a loose idea of what route it is you want to go down. So I would literally just write out on a piece of paper and say, my digital marketing business is ... Write down on a piece of paper, my digital marketing business will be for. So whether it's my digital marketing business is for physiotherapists based in Europe, or whether my digital marketing business is for people who are struggling with their Google ad accounts. However you decide to define that, and there is no right or wrong answer with this, just write it down, and that will be another way to essentially orientate how the rest of your business will follow.